Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're listening and watching from. Welcome to This Week in Renewables, episode 7, the bite-sized roundup of the renewable sector over the last 7 days. New projects, new hires, latest mergers and acquisitions, we discuss. Anything renewables, we discuss. Available on LinkedIn, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and soon to be YouTube as well. The voice you can trust, as I like to say. This week we're going to start off with some hydropower news coming from Egypt. They are going to be replacing 19 turbines at the Aswan High Dam and Aswan Low Dam as Ethiopia prepares to start producing electricity from the Grand Renaissance Dam in the next coming months. The cost of the rehabilitating and the station is estimated to be at 41 million euros. Which will be financed from loans from the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development under an agreement and signed with the German KfW Development Bank. According to Kamal, who is the head of hydropower generation for the company, has said 12 turbines will be replaced at the Aswan Dam and 7 at the Lower Dam. Tenders have been issued for this work and expected to be announced in the upcoming months. The aim of this particular project is to restore the efficiency of the hydropower stations as the current transformers were installed when the dam was being built. The objective of the project is to implement the necessary rehabilitation measures for the hydropower stations in order to ensure the provision of sustainable hydroelectric power and contribute in improving the climate and supplying clean, cost-effective electricity. So this is really good news with regards to the overhaul of the hydropower stations, much needed and hopefully serves as an example to other projects in Africa. More hydropower news, and again coming from the African continent. And Guinea is to double its hydroelectric production capacity with the commissioning of the Salpiti hydroelectric station. After 5 years of construction, the plant has begun commercial operations. The facility itself is to produce 1,900 gigawatts of clean energy per year and increase production of the downstream Kaleti hydro scheme to 1,000 gigawatts per year. This is great news, as in for the past 5 years, engineers have been involved in the construction of the project, including West Africa's largest RTC roller compacted dam, Gravity. The new power station enters into commercial operation this year following the provisional acceptance marking the transfer of ownership between the project owner and the operator Social de Gestion et d'Exploration de Sopiti, SOGS. Apologies, my French pronunciation is not too great. Moving on from hydropower to a bit of solar and some really interesting news. Lightsource BP have last week announced it has secured a 1.8 billion credit and trade finance facility that will help fuel its global growth strategy in developing 25 gigawatts of solar by 2025. So these are very ambitious targets. The funding, which will be provided by 10 top-tier global financial institutions, underpins Lightsource's BP's growth ambitions and execution strategy as it continues to accelerate the development of solar across the EMA, Americas and Asia-Pacific regions. Quite interestingly, since its formation in 2010, Lightsource BP has developed 3.8 gigawatts of solar projects globally and is now aiming to drive the total to 25 gigawatts of developed projects by 2025, fed by its expanding development pipeline. This is amazing news, and the growth is expected to create over 500 new jobs within Lightsource BP over the next 4 years. So really good news coming from the solar sector and Lightsource BP, who seem to be very busy at this moment. Some more news coming from solar, particularly in Europe, and STEAG, STEAG, and Netherlands-based Green Buddies have joined forces to develop solar projects in the Benelux countries. The partners have set themselves a goal of realising a portfolio of 250 megawatts by 2025. The first projects will enter construction at the beginning of 2023. STEAG will plan, develop and build the project as general contractor and then operate them as service provider. Again, this is really great news. In a recent article, Andrea Kremer, who is the managing director of STEAG Solar Solutions, said, for us, the Benelux countries are the logical extension of our existing activities in Europe. We still see enormous potential in the market, even if there is already existing players and projects. So again, this is really great news for solar, and particularly in Europe and the Benelux. From solar to wind, GE are to supply a 75 megawatt Lithuanian wind project. This is really good news. The wind farms are being built by Vėjoparkai, which is part of the ST Energy's 100% subsidiary Enefit Green. GE will precisely provide 14 turbines with capacities of 5.3 megawatts and 5.5 megawatts. Total investment in the project is said to be in the region of 85 million euros, of which 65 million is the turbine supply contract and 19 million for the construction by Merco Statbau. So really good news there coming from GE. More news across the wind sector, and Nordex have recently won a 27 megawatt Polish order from KGAL. Really good news. The manufacturer is to supply 9 turbines for this project. In addition to the installation and commissioning, the order also includes a 15-year service contract with a double extension option for a further 5 years. Nordex will supply the turbines on a 134 metre high tubular steel towers. So this is really great news. Michael Abner, who is the managing director for KGAL Investments Management Group, said recently, Nordex Group has proven to be a very reliable partner, both in terms of turbines and service, which is really good. And in this recent article again, Patsy Lander, who's the chief sales officer for Nordex, said, we are pleased that KGAL has once again opted for our technology in a project, and that our turbines are once again making a further contribution to covering the demand of additional renewable energies in Poland. So again, congratulations to the team at Nordex on this exciting news. Some more news across the wind sector coming from Japan, and Vensis has received an order for its gearless turbines for a 65 megawatt wind project in Japan. The German manufacturer will deliver 16 4.1 megawatt gearless turbines with bulb heights of 72 meters for the Tusama project, which is due to become operational in the second quarter of 2024. The company has signed a long-term service agreement, which is located in the Tusama-shi in the Okage Prefecture. Vensis turbines account for 60 gigawatts of output connected to the grid worldwide. So this is really great news coming from the wind sector, particularly Japan, which is heating up at the moment. Last and not least, some new hires in the industry, and Avangrid Renewables has appointed Jose Antonio Miranda as president for its onshore renewables, where he will oversee the growth of the company's onshore wind and solar business. Miranda is pictured, for those who are watching on YouTube and LinkedIn, was previously CEO of the onshore in the Americas for Siemens Gamesa and chairman for its board in the US, Mexico and Brazil. Prior to his decade-long tenure at Siemens Gamesa, he held a variety of roles over 10 years at multinational engineering firm ABB. In a recent article, he said, I'm thrilled to be joining the Avangrid team, and I look forward to continued success. So some really exciting news coming from the renewable sector with new hires being made. That, my friend, sums up this week in Renewables episode 7. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And again, if you have any recommendations for anything that should be covered or any advice for myself in terms of my presenting capabilities, do not hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, thank you for listening and watching, and have a great week ahead.